Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Match Betting Chronicles. Okay, so we're doing correct score Dutching on this game, Elche versus Real Betis. And look at this, only 14 minutes in, and this is a really bad situation. I've got a feeling it's going to be one of them games where I could lose my full stake. So my stake's £54. I'm being offered a cash out of minus 35. And yeah, 2 goals in 2 minutes from the underdog. I mean, Elche is bottom of the league. And yeah, 2 goals after 9 minutes. So yeah, this is not good at all. So the scorelines I had covered, I'll just show you. So 1-0 to Betis. I put a little bit of money on the 3-0, but a full stake on the 3-1, 2-1, 1-1. I've actually got nothing on 2-0 to Elche, but I do have the 2-1 covered. I do normally like having that 2-1. And I had a little bit of money on 3-0 just because the odds were so high. So yeah, I'm glad I did that now. But unfortunately, there's no 3-1 covered. And certainly no any other home win covered, as I just didn't. I expected maybe Elche to get 1 goal, but not two. Anyway, so this, I'll show you why it's so difficult. Correct score Dutching. So we have Elche at the bottom of the league for both home and away form. In fact, only once have they won at home in the league this season. So you can also see this is the goals scored. They've only scored 8 goals at home. So again, that's the worst in the league. And that's an average. Yeah, they're not even averaging a goal a game. They've conceded 17, which is also quite a lot. So they're playing Betis, who, they don't score too much away from home, but they don't concede too many as well. 11 goals, so an average of 1 a game again. So yeah, based on that, I did expect maybe a 1-1 or sort of 2-0, 3-0 to Betis. Certainly didn't expect Elche to score 2. Looking at some of the previous fixtures from Elche at home. So yeah, okay, that's their away. So this was the last time they played at home, was to Espanyol, and they lost 1-0. Now, maybe I should have saw this as some sort of warning, but this is the first time they won, and they beat Villarreal. They're not a bad team. Beat them 3-1 at home. And then they got a draw against Osasuna in late January, about a month ago. 1-0 to Celta against Celta. They lost. So yeah, you get the picture. They've only won once. They either draw at home or lose normally. And yeah, okay, they lost 3-0 to Real Madrid. But yeah, I wouldn't be expecting Betis to do the same thing. So yeah, I profiled this game around 1-1 or 2-0, 2-1 maybe. So now I don't know if there's anything I can do to get out of this situation. Really, I'm just going to have to hope that the game settles down. I might have a look at Sofa Score in a minute, and if Betis has started to dominate, well, if Elche don't have any more attack momentum, then hopefully they're done for the goals, and maybe I can cover 2-0, so I sort of break even if it finishes 2-0. Obviously I've got 3-0 covered, but yeah, I'll be expecting maybe a fight back from Betis, so maybe 2-1. But the danger might be 2-2 here as well, so it's a tricky one. After this short time, chances are I probably will lose my full stake. But anyway, I'll reassess a bit later if it's not done. Okay, back with this game, and it's half time now. Don't know why it says 51 minutes, but I think it's still half time. And it's stayed 2-0, thankfully. And it's now offering me a cash out of just minus 14. So after a disastrous start, where I thought I'd lose my whole stake, we're now in a better position, and if I was really sort of wanted to be safe, I could cash out now and take the minus 14. Bear in mind, after these two quick goals, I was losing about 80% of my stake. So minus 14 is not bad. But what I did do was I did put some money on 2-0. I did not have 2-0 covered, but after looking on the in-play stats, it looked like Elche were just sort of sitting on their lead, trying to defend. So, while I could, I backed 2-0 while the odds were a bit higher. So I'll just show you that. We'll jump on SofaScore now, and yeah. So after Elche have got their 2 goals, they seem to have sat on that lead, and it's been pretty much all Real Betis. And this bit here is some significant, attack momentum. So they may well have come close to getting a goal back. So what I didn't know is one of the Elche goals was a penalty, because it did surprise me that they'd managed to get 2. So let's just look at the other stats, and yeah, no surprise from the attack momentum, but Real Betis have dominated possession. They've got 9 shots, 3 of them have been on target, and I think from Elche, this 4 shots, they probably did that in the first sort of 10-15 minutes, and then it's been all Real Betis. So that's why I was happy to sort of back the 2-2. Sorry, not the 2-2, I mean the 2-0. Okay, so obviously I'm on a scratch trade at sort of 3-0, and with Betis sort of pushing for a goal, I think the danger is that if they do get a quick goal, it could easily turn into 2-2 or 3-2, which I haven't got covered. And the odds of 3-2 are quite large now, so I could cover that with just, maybe £3 or £4. Yep, £3 doesn't even need to be that. Sort of £2.75 will do, and that will secure 3-2. But 2-2, the odds are not really high enough yet to do much about that. I could sort of I don't know, put maybe £8 on, 8 or 9, and yeah, that gets a scratch trade if it's 2-2. Now if it's 3-2, I do lose a little bit of money. If it's 3-0, a little bit, but you can see sort of it starts to get dangerous. A lot of money could be lost on 3-1, or Elche get another 2 quick goals, any other home win, and the profit on the sort of target scoreline, if it stays 2-0, it's just £23. But that is, if I wanted to be careful, that is something I could consider, because with Elche just sitting on there 2-0, the chances of 3-1 or 3-2 are quite low, but it could happen. Football, you don't need me to tell you anything could happen. Okay, I'll come back to this game in a bit. Okay, everyone, so back with this game, and wow, another bit of disaster. We got a red card to Elche, and possibly another goal here because it's looks like it's gone suspended. Yep, so we got a penalty to Real Betis. Now, the problem is, I was just about to back 2-2 because the odds had raised a little bit. You know, there was no goals in the first bit of the second half. But the red card, unfortunately, you know, crashed the price on the 2-2. So I'll just load a graph up. Yeah, so basically there'd been no more goals and it was around sort of 8 or 9. And I just went back onto the game to sort of, you know, drip some into 2-2 anyway. And I saw suspension and card upgrade, and yeah, they gave a red card. So that's just not what I need. Obviously, if it finishes on 2-1, then fantastic. You know, I've got my profit, but more than likely now with the red card, you know, the market is going to presume that Real Betis are going to come back into this game. So I might just have to see what sort of my cash out award is. Don't think it's going to be too healthy, considering I haven't got the 3-1 or the 2-2 covered. So heading for a loss here, I think. Now, yeah, look at that. So minus 30 at the moment. That's awful. That's about 50% loss. So yeah, not good. Now the problem is yeah, 2-2 is a very, very real danger now. Will sort of Elche's defence be able to cope with this? So yeah, I mean, at least another 25 minutes of football. So I could try and stick with it, but realistically, probably going to have to accept a bit of a loss here. Anyway, I'm going to hang on for at least a few more minutes to try and get this loss down. You know, I know 2 goals can come quickly, but in most games, I'd say that doesn't happen. Okay, so wrong decision from me. So looks like I should have cashed out immediately, but you know, this is rare. So we've had 2 super quick goals from Elche and now 2 super quick goals from Real Betis. So yeah, I know they had the red card, and down to 10 men, but you still normally, you know, you wouldn't get goals so close to each other. So basically, I was just trying to scrape a few pound, you know, more. So, you know, cash out for a little less of a loss. But unfortunately, now I'm taking the full loss on this game. And yeah, that happens. So, yeah, I don't know. Lesson learned. It's just unfortunate. I mean, I just about to put some money on that 2-2, and then you got the red card, which changes everything. I mean, they're massive red cards in correct score Dutching. So anyway, that it is what it is, and yeah, full stake loss on this one. Anyway, this is the correct score market, and yep, that can happen sometimes. Anyway, guys, that's it for me on this game. I'm going to have a look back on this one later and see if I can learn any other lessons from this, but it is what it is. Okay, so this game has finished 3-2 to Betis. So after the red card, it's not too surprising that, once it went 2-2, that Betis have finally emerged victorious. But that last minute goal was a penalty, and so was their first one to get back into the game. So yeah, they've not been amazing, but they've done the job. Now, I just wanted to go over some final thoughts for this game. Initially, after these 2 goals, I could have got out for around an 80% loss. But then there went a long time without any goal. Up until the point I could have got out for sort of break even. Now, I did want to actually get some profit. I managed to cover the 2-0, and I was heading for some profit. Now, I wanted to make sure the 2-2 was safe. But before that could happen, the red card went in. Very unlucky with the timing there. But anyway, after that red card, you saw I could have got out for half my for a half loss, basically, losing half my stake. But I chose to stay in, and it went, unfortunately, 2-1. Now, as soon as it went 2-1, I couldn't really get out again because the loss was quite big. It was, if I recall, over half the stake. Because I didn't have 2-2 covered. There was a red card in the match, so the market thought that might happen. But I did want to get out at 2-1, so I thought I'd wait another sort of 5 minutes, try and get the loss down a bit, but it went 2-2. So finally, I just didn't, I made a little bit of a mistake here. I was watching the attack momentum and everything, and towards the end of the match, I was looking at £100 lay of 2-2 at odds of about 1.36. Now I put that into to do it, but obviously that increased my loss for this game to about £99 if it stayed 2-2. Now obviously if any other goal was scored, then I'd have a winning trade because I'd be laying £100. So I'd have got that £64 loss back and more. But this is the emotion. Although now it's, in hindsight, it's, they've got a red card, and Betis will be pushing to win the game. They won't be satisfied with 2-2. So it's pretty likely that it's going to happen. But because I don't want to take a bigger loss, that stopped me from doing it. In a winning position, if I was in a winning position, I'd have laid that, no problem, to try and make more profit. It would have reduced the profit I already have, but I'd have done that in a winning position. So why didn't I do that in a losing position? Because I was scared of losing, extra money. I've already lost too much on this. So yeah, in the last minute there was another, I think, red card, and which led to the penalty. So there you go. So please let me know in the comments, what would you have done? Would you have got out for an 80% loss after the 2 quick goals? Would you have taken a half loss, sort of around here when it went 2-1? And finally, would you have, sacrificed potentially another sort of £35, or let's call it another 50% of your stake by laying the 2-2? Would you have taken that risk? Because yeah, this is something that I need to improve. You know, I'm pretty sure in a winning position I'd have pulled the trigger. So, you know, I obviously wanted to do it. I had it sitting in the lay bet, but I just didn't do it. Anyway, so yep, disappointing night all in all. Anyway, guys, thanks for listening, and I will see you next time.